Let's talk about, it just says that you did some kind of talks or seminars on weird sex.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So I called it weird sex.
Yes. What and why? Yeah.
I think that when we have fantasies or desires that are outside of things that we've seen popularized and normalized through like pop culture or like popular conversation or like, you know, what we see as like normal sex,
Yes.
we become weird. And so like kinky stuff is considered kink only because it's not considered vanilla sex or like what's mainstream to be understood as like basic sex. But for some people, weird is butt sex. For some people, butt sex is normal. For some people, you know, dressing up in slutty lingerie for their partner is normal. For other people, that's weird. So really, there's a lot of judgment and shame when it comes to what our sexual desires are. So I wanted to normalize things that we thought are weird. So that's everything from BDSM to role play to fetishes to, you know, who cares if someone's turned on by, you know, pantyhose and like you don't understand it. It's not about you. And so it really excites me when people are excited or people are turned on by weird things because I'm like, you are so like brave to like tap into this carnal thing that maybe you don't understand either. Maybe there wasn't a particular pathological moment you can map back to in your childhood when you smelled somebody's pantyhose. Like you just like pantyhose. And so I think there's like
you for embracing it and realizing that it gives you pleasure
and having no judgment.
Yeah, and to not judge yourself about it and be like, fuck it. Yeah. This brings me pleasure. I'm going to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So that whole talk is around like, how do you talk to your partner about something that you think they may think is weird?
Yeah.
What do you do if your partner brings you something that's weird? Or what if your partner's like, I want you to pee on me, and you're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
So how do you respond in a way that doesn't yuck someone else's yum?
Yeah.
Which is tough, right? Because sometimes people bring us things that are also maybe triggering for us or that we associate with maybe violence or being a bad person or being like deviant. And so it can be tough for the person listening to their loved one or their partner or someone that they have sex with to hear that this weird pleasure is coming out of them. We often think that's like, well, why did I choose this like weirdo? Or now they want to do this thing and like, how am I going to still be with them?
Yeah.
So it creates it's like a fun topic to talk about.
Yeah.
But there's some beautiful like opportunities for non-judgment and for openness and for sexual creativity. Like, how do you know? Like maybe something will turn you on. Like if you don't have a hard no against it, then, you know, kind of being curious. It promotes like curiosity and playfulness.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that speaks a lot to like sex positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Like is that or is that not a sex negative response to go ew?
Yeah.
When somebody, you know, tells you their deepest darkest, you know, for you to go gross.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
how do we stop that? How do we?
Yeah. It's tough because our initial reaction may be ew.
Yeah.
But kind of seeing like the vulnerability that it takes for someone to open up, whether it's about like, I want you to eat me out more, or I want you to wear pantyhose. Like those are vulnerable things to ask for what you want in sex. We're not taught that. We're not supported with that. Particularly if you've been socialized female, like that's not a thing that we've been equipped with skills to do.
Yeah.
So if your partner comes and says, hey, I'm into this, and you could say, oh, like, thanks for telling me like more about what turns you on. I have to think about that. I don't know much about it. Like, let me do some research or like tell me more.
Or tell me more about that.
Yeah. And sometimes people won't know because it's the first time that they've ever had someone that is like open to hearing it. Yeah. And so they may say, well, I just like the thing. I don't know. I just like it.
Yeah.
And tell me more is a good opener for some people. And for other people, it's like, oh, like now I have to explain my weird thing.
Yeah.
So you could go research and then come back and be like, so I realized some people like this because of this, this, and this. Like, what is it, about it for you?
Yeah. Is it any of these things?
Yeah.
Is it helpful for the person that is going to divulge to maybe is there some pre-divulge conversation that could be happening to set up a happy conversation?
Yes, for
5
sure.
minutes down the road.
Don't do it like while you're grocery shopping. Like do it when you have like some privacy and a quiet time. Probably in the middle of sex is probably not the best idea either.
Okay.
Maybe if you're kind of having an intimate moment that's not necessarily sexual yet, and just kind of be like, hey, like, babe, I was thinking about this thing, or I saw this thing, or I heard about this this thing, or if you're comfortable telling your partner you watch porn, like I was watching this porn and I came across like this. What do you think? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just kind of like putting it out there as like what do you think about this? The same way you'd be like, hey, I saw this new restaurant. Do you want to go try it? Like, what do you think about this? Like, oh, I don't like Persian food, or I don't like this, or whatever. Like, thinking about how you're presenting it to your partner as an option rather than like a demand.
Yeah. This is a thing I need.
Yeah.
When it isn't necessarily. It's for a lot of people that are divulging a deep, dark desire.
Yes.
It's not a thing that they probably need.
No.
Like, it's a thing they are curious about.
Yep.
Pursuing.
Absolutely.
Usually. Yeah.
And that can make your partner feel very comfortable that, well, like if you're into pantyhose, I can do that once in a while. Like, it doesn't have to be something you do every single time.
Yeah. It's not a contract we're signing.
No. Yeah. You're wearing pantyhose forever.
Yeah. That's what this conversation
In the middle
means.
of summer, you're wearing pantyhose forever. Like, yeah.
And it's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker.
And we're going to break up.
Yeah. You're going to lose your home. I don't know where you're going to live. Like, yeah.
You're homeless.
Pretty much. Because of the pantyhose fetish. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that.
No. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. I feel like we're pretty much at time. So, Luna, I would love for you to tell us what you have coming up in the future, anywhere people can find you and listen to all your great work.
Yeah, totally. So I teach regularly on O School. So it's www.o.school, and it's free to tune in. You just have to sign up, and you can chat or not chat. But I teach pretty regularly on Fridays on there. And so I tend to do Fat Babe Fridays or Fuck Like a Goddess Fridays, where we talk about issues on like how do we just be like more empowered through our bodies and our sexual confidence to be able to like have better sex and have hotter sex with the people that we want. And then I'm teaching a lot in Toronto in the summer. So I'll be at Oasis. My schedule for Good for Her and Kink Toronto are both up on my website.
Awesome.
Yeah, super great places.
What is your website?
Oh, yeah. My website's lunamatatas.com. So it's like Hakuna Matatas, but Luna Matatas. Yeah. Or you can find me on social media. I'm Luna Matatas everywhere. And I'm also going to be at Oasis. I'm teaching twice at Oasis. So if you're curious about sex clubs, like Oasis is my favorite sex club. I would totally love to meet people there. And like, it's great to kind of know someone. You're like, Luna, I know you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know you, but okay.
But hi.
And I'll be in person selling goods. So I'm at Pink Market, which is a queer and LGBTQ market that's happening in Toronto. It happens twice a year. And it's like all these amazing like handcrafted goods. So I'm selling my Peg the Patriarchy shirts.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I did have something I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Because I told somebody close to me that I was interviewing you.
Oh, yeah.
Interviewing you. And they were like, explain the Peg the Patriarchy. I believe they took it a little differently than it perhaps was intended.
Sure, yeah.
Can you talk about where that saying and where that like branding comes from for you?
Yeah, so I created
what it means for you.
Yeah, so it's my creation, and I came up with it because I wanted a way to subvert the patriarchy. So we talk about the power of the patriarchy being sort of like this all-encompassing sort of systemic piece. And so pegging the patriarchy is a metaphor. And so there's a beautiful kind of power that is put on the person that's able to subvert the kind of power. So it can be for a sexual play, but peg the patriarchy is definitely like a social justice metaphor for kind of taking down the patriarchy and dismantling it in a way that doesn't disadvantage women and women identified people. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Anything else that you need to say about things coming up for you?
No, and I'm really excited to be at the Bedpost show in person. Yay! Like that's going to be amazing.
Yay, yeah. Me too. Okay. So the things I have to say then, talking about the Bedpost stage show, if you're here in Toronto and want to see the stage show, we're at the last Tuesday of every month at the Super Wonder Gallery at 9 and the third Friday of every month at 8 at the Social Capital Theater. Like this. If you want to email me for info, for any questions, comments, suggestions for the show, I'm at thebedpostsexshow@gmail.com. I want to give a huge shout out to the Sonar Network, which is a podcasting network I'm a part of. You should check out all the other podcasts on the network. And talking about that, if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. It really does great things for me and my business. Same with if you're listening to us on iTunes or another podcasting platform, to like rate and review is really, really helpful. And while I'm on thank yous, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Eggplant Media that makes all our YouTube and podcasting stuff available to everyone and in such amazing quality. Also, just a big ol' hey to everyone here at the Pacific Junction Hotel. Thank you so much. And if you are listening to us on a podcast, then you're also hearing original music by Stephanie Copeland, who can be reached at her website, stephcopelandmusic.com. And last but not least, I want to give another big thank you to Luna Matatas.
You're so welcome. It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I always have so much fun with you, and please come back lots.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
And thank you to everyone that's listening, watching today, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.